Needing to make a move, and the West Coast Eagles up near the top, of course working their way towards some finals in Perth. That would seem to be a real key element in their season. Jakovic is on the forward line. Spinks is at full forward. Rucks go at it. Grigic knocks it down. Immediately driven up towards the half-forward line by Bell for North Melbourne. McKenna slaps it out wide towards the boundary, and it goes across, so a throw-in down towards right half-forward for North.
Very heavy and close already with the taggers. Anthony Stevens wanting to take Morrison.
Here's Rock waiting in front of the pack. Back goes Hart, didn't complete the mark. It spills towards the boundary line and goes across. Grigic and McKernan hanging back this time, so the ruck work will be done down there by whoever wants it. Nobody wants it very much at the moment. McKenna cast in the role of a ruckman. Scholl from behind, wide open this forward line. Archer back to goal. He's about 45 metres out. The centering kick. Roberts on the lead, and he's marked about 40 metres from goal.
Well, they're definitely two players that North Melbourne need up and going. Archer in the defence last week against Western Bulldogs was beaten initially by Chris Grant at centre half back, and then back to fullback on Simon Minton-Collin. Really had problems there. This week starting in the forward line with Roberts, who's come off probably his best game for the year last week. Those two really need to stand up.
Mark Roberts then for a flying start for the Kangaroos. It's bending back, close, right on the line. Gehrig knocks it down. Touch, says the umpire, and he's indicated that behind. Well, that's an interesting one. He appeared to knock it forward. Maybe it was in two motions, a little thump-thump that we didn't quite pick up.
Yeah, or the only explanation would be another touch, another player in between, but Gehrig's certainly doing the right thing, spoiling forward.
McIntosh, the short kick to Kemp in the left back pocket for the West Coast in front of the Carlton Social Club here at Optus Oval. Kemp's kick goes out in the direction of Turnbull, punched away by Roberts. At the fall of the ball is Scott, and Roberts taking the hand pass, not able to control the footy. Boundary throw in right half forward for North Melbourne. Big ruckman, Ilya Grigic and Corey McKernan. McKernan pushing and shoving, gets his right hand to it. Well, fairly well ineffective, gets it back again. Handballs across there to Bell. Bell's kick towards half forward, punched away. At the fall of the ball is Stevens. Nearly took it out, Peter Matera certainly did. And the boundary umpire will throw it in once again. It's about 65 to 70 metres around from North Melbourne's goal. They've forced one behind in the early 2 or 3 minutes of the match. Fairly well perfect conditions. We've already mentioned that it's overcast. Morrison's kick across his left shoulder will be marked by McKernan. Tipper's told us that the ground is pretty firm and just a slight breeze may be going. Oh, there's a good mark. Well done. It's Kersner. Kersner onto his right foot. Up towards full forward. Punched away by the Eagles' defence. Archer strong at the football. McIntosh went straight for the line. Ooh. Your heart's really in your mouth when the players do that.
They're under pressure early, the Eagles' defence, and really just they haven't been able to get through the midfield. There's some of the matchups in the midfield. Cummings is the job on Rock. Freeborn has Phil Matera, and Banfield is with King.
So the ruck contest resulting in another boundary throw-in. I was going to say the breeze looks to me as though it might be favouring the end to which the Eagles are kicking in this first term. It's only a slight advantage, so not much from that point of view. Now the Eagles get away from their full back line, but it's Allison. They've had plenty of the ball, North Melbourne already. Short pass is all right, and the mark is taken down here in front of us by Brett Harvey. Harvey quickly up towards full forward, trying to get the one-on-one. Here's Roberts, very skillful Mark Roberts, and he's missed. He's just hooked that a little bit too far. He's scored another behind.
The big men matchup, so Grigic is running with Corey McKernan, and that's not allowing him to go back to assist his West Coast Eagles defenders across the half-back line. So that's where that big hole just at the moment is being created offensively for North Melbourne.
Dean Kemp out of the back pocket to Schofield, left half back. Morrison calling for it short, that's ignored. Schofield, a high one up towards the wing, and from the side, Roberts strong. Good grab. He started very well. Roberts into Mines. Centering kick. Bell meters in the clear. Inside the centre square. A runner cruising past is King. King probing kick inside the 50. Off hands. McKenna, who took a hard knock just moments ago, goes towards the boundary line. With him is Harvey. It's across the line and will be thrown in.
Dennis, not be for me to correct, but King doesn't cruise past, does he? When he goes, he really goes flat out.
Here's Archer snapping at goal. Oh, you're right. It bounces through for a behind. He loves shooting at goal too, King. Not that he did that last time around. There's Archer, questioned by his coach. Well, probably not questioned by his coach. He was one of about 4 that was, I think, lumped in together as being money men at the club. He certainly spent some time on the bench last week.
Already North Melbourne inside their forward 50 on 5 occasions. And, by gee, it's been in the West Coast defensive 50 a fair bit, obviously. The kick in towards the centre. There's going to be another chance for North to go forward. Bell gets to Blakey. Blakey towards full forward. Good diving mark taken there by Mr. Reliable Guy McKenna. Handballs it quickly to Kemp. Kemp goes across the half-back line. Out wide is Simmons. Simmons has got a player in support. It's Andy Lovell. Great to see him back after a misfortune with his father. Bad luck for him, but he's back playing footy, which is important. Pike gets the hand pass to King. King into the centre. McKernan's got the footy. Quickly plays on. You're in a little bit of strife. No, he's able to get out of it. Was Freeborn. And eventually the North Melbourne player who did back him up, Longmire, was caught with the footy by Big Spinks. Spinks in towards the full forward area. If it's not a mark, it's certainly a free kick, isn't it, to Matera? That's Philip Matera. Closing in, front on.
I think any doubtful free kicks we'll see be awarded today as a result of the instruction the umpires are under, but there was never any doubt about that one.
So it's Philip Matera, just a youngster in the terms of games played in the AFL, but a goal kicker for the West Coast Eagles. Kicks from 40 and kicks pretty well too. It's a goal to the Eagles. Philip Matera kicks the first goal of the game and the West Coast lead by 3 points.
Well, what a revelation he's been in the forward pocket. That's now 19 goals, 8 for the season from Phil Matera. So when he gets the opportunity, he certainly makes the most of them. Really, he's going to have to be one of the key goal scorers in this side. With the absences out of the Eagles lineup predominantly coming out of the forward line, it's up to him to do well here today.
Philip Matera, 19 goals on the season. There's Dennis Pagan. Certainly that goal coming against the trend of play. Rucks go at it. Grigic and McKernan. One down by the ladder. Anderson in trouble. Kemp grabs it alongside the centre circle. Boots inside the 50. They come from all directions. Jakovic, a chance at the crumb. Slipped over. Grabbed out of there by Blakey. Boots it back towards midfield. Standing his ground was Grigic. And he's been paid the free. There's a history against Corey McKernan, as coincidence would have it. Last season in round 10 playing for Footscray, reported for striking McKernan. So those pair already have been hard at it. Grigic put a player down but left the ball behind. Roberts run down from behind by Matera. Jarred loose. Here's Archer. Archer's the back and gets away. Slips it across to Stevens. Stevens inside the 50. A lot of pushing and shoving. Knocked off the ground by Kersner. The body went in, picked up by Rock. The body was from Banfield. Rock got the kick though. Scholl almost the mark. Offhand, standing up in the tackle, Anderson. Got the hand pass away. Scholl confronted. Loose ball is in there. Harvey slaps it out. Allison looking to go left side. Brilliantly played. Hart got across and tackled him. He guarded the left side. McIntosh got it to Banfield. They bring it away. Good footy. Here's Schofield running up the ground. He got it from Cummings, kicks it towards centre square area. Eventually McKernan, Lovell's hand pass intercepted. Back it comes to half back. Morrison's in the road.
Morrison quickly on to Simmons in support. Simmons' kick has been marked by Schofield. Looks to play on. Out in front there of Lovell. Not paid the mark? Yes, he is. He has been paid in front of John Blakey. Andy Lovell for the Eagles. Too far out to score. Short passes on, and still they may be too far away from goal. This is Donnelly for the Eagles. He's about 55 metres from goal. He'll kick it close to the line. Jakovic. Oh, well done. just a little bit of strong body work to get Martin out of the road. Then he plays on. Player on his own is Banfield right in front, only 25 metres out, and Banfield the chance to kick the West Coast second goal.
Well, Dennis Pagan has matched Mickey Martin to Glenn Jakovic. Jakovic is playing at centre half forward. On this occasion, he's drifted into the forward pocket. Now, that's a bit of a dangerous area for Mickey Martin, out around space. And we have Spinks playing more in the full forward position with John Longmire, the defender.
Drew Banfield for the Eagles. No difficulty here, and he puts it straight through the centre. Banfield kicks his first goal. Philip Matera has kicked a goal. West Coast lead by 9 points.
Well, they've really swung it around just at the moment. The initial minutes of the game was all North Melbourne. It was continually inside their 50-metre arc. They had a couple of shots, put on a couple of behinds. Now, the West Coast Eagles have come back into control. 2 goals from their small men, but good contributions from their bigs involved in those plays.
Eagles lead it by 9 points. Play restarts. McKernan and Grigic. One down by McKernan that time. Stevens boots it down towards centre half forward. Awkward bounce for Scholl. Taken by Scott. Trying to go back to Scholl. He's over the ball and he's got plenty of company. And we'll have a bounce just inside the centre square. North Melbourne's way. So Banfield and Philip Matera have the goals so far. They're missing goal kickers today, the Eagles. Cousins with 15. Lewis and Sumich 14. Ball 7. Next in line behind Philip Matera. And goal kicking at the club. Here's Turnbull. Had it a while. Play goes on. Tackled by Roberts. Anderson. It was slapped away from him. Grigic knows one way. That's straight ahead. Rock did well. Gets it across to Blakey. Blakey out towards the wing. Taken by Harvey. Harvey goes down towards half forward. McKernan met solidly by McKenna. Meeting of the clans there. In goes Matera. Down goes McKenna. And a whistle.
Right half forward for North Melbourne, about 75 metres from their goal.
Robert Scott there, he has the job on Peter Matera.
Bounce of the ball. McKernan favoured by that. He might get a free kick being held onto in the ruck contest by Grigic. McKernan looking to play on and succeeds in doing so. Kicks it into the pocket. A high ball at the back. Archer, McIntosh to make a contest. Archer not able to control. And the ball will be thrown in. 12 plays 3, West Coast lead. And have another look at this, Terry. What did you think? Maybe just a little wrap around his arm.
Yeah, I think Grigic was put out by the poor bounce from the umpire.
Stevens and Rock over the top for North Melbourne. Just locking it up momentarily. Dean Kemp. The umpire will bounce once again. It's inside the North Melbourne forward 50. Allison tried to break that Hart tag, and he's done it. Oh, what about the knockout? And he's missed it from point-blank range. You wouldn't believe it. Brett Allison from about 15 metres out, slight angle. But the ruck work here, if we can get a look at it, no, it happened just momentarily, just previous to that. I don't think Brett Allison wants to have a look at that again.
That's an unbelievable miss. A player of his calibre, I mean, he's generally a very, very accurate kick, and that was a lay down, and misses it off to the left.
Kerrick very short to the pocket. Tira, who played so well against the Bombers last Sunday, comes out of that back pocket up towards midfield. Morrison slipped over. Backed up by Lovell, gets it away. Kemp's got it now, forward of half-back, comes down towards half-forward. Jakovic, the target, pushed away there from Martin, did well. Spinks tried to go back towards the middle, spills to Rock. Rock goes in short. Stevens on his wrong side. They brought the dummy too easily there. Cuts back to the left foot, goes down towards half-forward. Scholl! What a mark, and he's hurt. Scholl is hurt after taking a spectacular mark. He fell very awkwardly. Watch it again.
Might have ripped his neck.
It's a great jump, isn't it? There's just heavily down there onto the right shoulder. Right on the point of the shoulder there.
Tough customer. Jack of all trades these days for North. They're saying he's okay, but that's far from the truth. Meantime, Roberts has got the kick then. Inside the 50. High ball. It hangs a long time. North had the numbers in front. They spoiled each other. Half chance for Pike. It falls to Batira. Batira back towards the wing. It pitches on the wing. Blakey thumps it towards the boundary line. Simpson just coming on through the gates to replace this man. Had a half chance. It was wide of him though. So boundary throwing. Craig Scholl.
Well, you can see McKenna, he just concedes the front, the position there, McKenna, and does a little bit of pushing back, and I think that's what threw Scholl right out of balance while he was high in the air.
Oh, let's hope Craig Scholl's all right. From the ruck contest, North Melbourne are going to get a free kick, much to the delight of their fans. Harvey is the recipient. He kicks to 50 metres. McKernan from the side. Gee, that was a good mark. He was certainly out of position, but his long arms raked in the footy. He's 50 metres from goal. He'll kick it to the square, wobbly kick, and it's pretty well marked down there, I would have thought, by Turnbull, but the umpire must have seen that touched off the boot, maybe.
Must have been touched on the mark by Grigich.
Well, certainly no argument there from Turnbull, and the umpire to bounce about 20 metres from North Melbourne's goal. They're still to kick their first, are the Northerners. It's into the pocket. Archer tries to get it back. Harvey, still a scramble for possession, and forced over. Is that a free kick? No. All the players go to the umpire appealing, particularly Glenn Archer, but the umpire having nothing of that. There's Craig Scholl and the doctor having a good chat to him, obviously to check for maybe mild concussion. Good handball by Rock. Kick forward there by McKernan, goes across the face of goal, bounces and whacked away by Gehrig.
Very wide. Simmons takes the ball across the line. Paul Simmons started the season very well. So the worries continue. The form has been disappointing, to say the least. McKernan in front. Morrison hard against the boundary line. It's slippery out there. Got it away. Cummings, the quick hand pass. Falling to his knees, Simmons. Eventually, Schofield went back towards the middle. Rock knocks it away. Here's McKenna. Hitting it hard out there was Harvey. It spills back into the pack. McKernan throws it on the boot. But in the meantime, the North Melbourne player was held. It may have been Kersner. Just wait for the call. It'll be a North free. About 45 metres out. Now it's Anderson who's getting it.
They're really struggling into their forward line just at the moment, North Melbourne. They're bombing in, looking for opportunities from individuals to step up and do something. The system just doesn't seem to be laid down from North Melbourne forward line just yet. Talked
about the Eagles missing goal kickers. This time last year, Wayne Carey had booted 32. That says something. Anderson leans back on the kick. It's a beauty. They get there first.
Well, they get it after a lot of work in their forward line. We're down to only some 7 minutes remaining, but a high percentage of this quarter to date would have been played within the North Melbourne forward line, and to have only picked up the 1 goal for really isn't a reward for their efforts to date. System needs to be picked up a little bit in there. Anderson there picking up his first goal.
Well, statistics will show that North Melbourne have been inside their 50-metre forward zone 13 times, the West Coast just 3, and yet the West Coast lead the match. This is Roberts, picked up a few possessions. The kick towards half forward, diving effort by Archer, gathered by McIntosh. McIntosh, a lovely long kick, but King gets back and judges it best of all and marks between half back and centre wing. He runs away, and after 2 bounces, gives the hand pass over the top. McKernan stands and delivers a beautiful long kick to full forward. Here's a chance for Kersner. He's got a bit of space and he's popped it through. North have got their second. Julian Kersner, much travelled footballer, Essendon, Carlton, and now with North Melbourne, gets the Kangaroos' second goal for the day.
Well, and it's a good sign when a key forward gets a goal. And Kersner, very good type of player in that he can work well in the air, but on that occasion he showed us his ground level skills. Scholl coming back onto the ground, so he's back on the ground. Kersner getting a couple of touches. Maybe the forward line is starting to get a bit of a feel for it for North.
North by 4 points. Neither ruckman touched the ball initially, fell at their feet. Banfield trying to hand pass it out. Anderson working hard, moves it about 10 metres. Turnbull leads in the race, paddling it through the centre square. Met pretty solidly, lost it. Banfield under the pump. Turnbull, it ricochets off a North player. That was Anderson. He's immediately in the hunt after the football. Banfield in the opposite direction. Great pressure footy in there. Archer dives in over that one, locked it in. And supporters of both teams, I think, could take almost a moral victory from what happened in there. Some real hard work.
Anderson was good.
Yeah, Banfield the other way, and Archer right at the end there. McKernan only as far as Matera on his knees. Stevens falling to the ground. Matera goes in. It spills to Bell, and the former West Australian and Docker has missed to the left-hand side.
Changes still being rung, Dennis, just in the midfield. Chad Morrison then went off. Heady returns back onto the ground for the West Coast.
Inaccuracies costing North Melbourne. They've had 7 scoring shots, lead by just 5 points. Garrick playing his 50th game, goes in short to Kemp. Kemp kicks it long out towards the wing. Peter Matera, and he get past Stevens. Oh, he's got him. He's absolutely got him. The tackle did go down around the thigh area, but certainly wrapped Peter Matera up, Anthony Stevens. And a 50-metre penalty is against Peter Matera, so this will give Anthony Stevens a real chance to kick a goal, because the ball is coming to within 15 metres. Gee, it was a generous 50.
Well, I didn't see why it was awarded.
He was bluing, I think, about the free kick being given against him.
Is that a 15-metre penalty if you blew with the umpire? I'm not sure whether I read that rule, but yeah, that's all it could be. There was no one else involved in it.
It was a bit stiff not to get a free kick, wasn't he, in the marking contest? Matera must have been borderline.
Yes.
But you can see there the player on the mark. He's not that far away from the end of the goal square. And I thought the ball with Matera and Stevens went close to out of bounds, at least 75 metres from goal. So he's got a 70-metre penalty here, and he has kicked a goal for the Kangaroos.
And according to us, Matera's got grounds to blue on about 3 different counts.
North Melbourne lead by 11 points after the Eagles kicked the first 2 goals.
And Anthony Stevens showing his talent to win that first free kick through his tackling ability. He's a very, very strong player in there. But I think the other thing we learned is that perhaps this isn't a real 50-metre arc here at Optus Oval, that it may only be a 45.
So North by 11 points, dominating the game at the moment. McKernan and Grigic. McKernan down. Harvey, interesting hand pass. Bell, tackle from behind. Ball spills across to Rock. Rock forward of half-back, chips out towards the wing. Stevens, who started very well. Cummings trying to close him down. The short one goes to Roberts, not 10. Play on's the call. Roberts hoisted high, down towards half-forward. Matera's fist. Kemp in front. Kemp's at left half-back. Kicks up towards the wing. Heady has to wait. Stevens from behind. Heady goes after it. Roberts charged down there by Turnbull. And across the line it goes. Mark Roberts, good start this afternoon. 6 possessions so far for him. Midway through the term.
Boundary throw-in on centre wing. Banfield doing the ruck work to the front. Heady, he may have been out of bounds before he actually got his foot to that. And it will be thrown in. Brett Heady, very good player for the Eagles over a long period of time now.
Could spend a little bit of time on and off the bench this week, Robbo. Was a late withdrawal last week with the flu, so may not be fully 100% over that.
Ruckman wrap arms again, but the umpire sees that as all clear. Gee, Bell was great there. Just confronted Matera. The ball comes out to Anderson. Anderson's handball to Martin. Martin to Blakey. Blakey to Roberts, who's been pretty good. He's got a couple of touches early, which is probably a confidence booster for that player. Back to Blakey for the Kangaroos. Good kick by John Blakey. Right up towards full forward. Gatherers by Kempy. Gang tackled by Archer and Allison. And the umpire will bounce at centre half forward for North.
The Eagles really are struggling across centre-half forward. Glenn Jakovic, more known as a centre-half back, he started the game there and has really struggled. And just at this stage now, Mick Malthouse has rolled him over, so it's Turnbull going into centre-half forward, Jakovic back to centre-half back.
McIntosh grabs it, kicks it very high. Roberts going back, juggles the mark. Ben Kemp has started well, 8 possessions, averaging 19 a game this season. Down from 21 last year and 20 in 95, but he's been burning. There he is on the mark. Stevens across the ground. North so much possession so far. Bell in the centre square. Bell for distance. Grigic is back there. Takes the mark uncontested. Well served in that situation. Short. Gehrig up to the wing. Jakovic, in fact, well short of the wing as it turns out. Just chipping the ball. Jakovic made to run. Levels the target. He's on the wing. Kemp surrounded by 3 North players. Tries for a belated droppy. Those days are gone. Free kick to North. Stevens wanting to go. It'll come back. And Stevens has started so well as well, coming up for his 9th possession. In fact, Blakey will take the kick, so Stevens will stay at 8. Here's Blakey, about 75 metres out. Kicks for the hole between centre-half forward and full forward. McKernan almost, Allison almost. Gehrig, hand passed in the air. Here's Scott, 15 metres out, gets the goal.
Well, after some early misses and costly misses by North Melbourne, they now have picked up the last 4 goals of the game, and it's being well spread throughout. This is an important goal for Robert Scott to get because he has got the job on Matera. Matera came off an excellent game last week playing half-back flank. Pressure's put on him by a goal scorer. Good to get one early from Robert Scott.
So good lead now for North Melbourne. Maybe just rewards for their dominance of the first quarter. Kick forward by Rock, the acting skipper for North Melbourne. McKenna to Matera to Gehrig. Gehrig from across that half-back line. Kicks it out in front. Gathered by Banfield. Kicks into towards the pocket, but Mickey Martin gets back and takes a safe chest mark at right half-back. Plays on quickly. Kicks in the direction of Roberts. Jakovic from behind, the big punch. And he knocks it clear for a throw-in. Umpires Nash, Mitchell and Love. It's Chris Mitchell just down at the bottom of the picture. And the West Coast. They've got their score in the first 10 minutes of the game. Nothing since. Roberts across the ground. Oh, Simmons, terrible bounce. Just advantaged Anderson. Kicks off the side of his boot, which wasn't too bad. Hart, tackled by Allison. Kick out of the air there by Hart. Gathered by Grigic to Lovell. Lovell spots a player wide at Simmons. He can go down and kick into the pocket. Out in front and a good mark. Great mark taken there for the Eagles by Brett Spinks.
You can just see that Dennis Pagan has reacted to Jakovic leaving centre-half forward now with Martin going back on to take Spinks at full back.
Spinks kicks towards centre-half forward. Nearly taken by Stevens. Gathered by Schofield was very good. Kicks across the line. Too far for Spinks. Mickey Martin loves this situation. Knocks it in front of himself. Gathers. Gets back. Pretty confident. And then kicks it quite nicely in the finish to Bell. Onto the football quickly in front of Grigic. Peter Bell looks to play on Roberts. He is playing confident footy. Mark Roberts kicks towards full forward. McIntosh punched away. Gathered by McKenna. He's gone. Kersmer and Scholl lock him up. And the umpire will bounce about 40 metres from the North Melbourne goal. They lead 4-5 to the West Coast. 2 goals with under half a minute left in the first term.
Powerful performance this by North. Kernan and Jakovic. Scholl flies over the top. Still he goes, Scholl. Tackled by McKenna. Jarred loose. Matera drives it towards the outer side. It spills just inside the boundary and runs across the line. Scholl seems to be okay. Moving well there. Not so happy, Michael Malthouse. Still a long way to go. McKenna still picking up. Scholl. So Scholl looks okay, and McKenna knows he'll be on the news tonight. Quarter time at Optus Oval. And North Melbourne sluggish to begin with. Certainly dominant. Helpless. Second term. 4-5 to 2 goals.
So a handy lead for North Melbourne, going to the left of screen in this second term. Grigic gets first hand of the ball, forced forward for the West Coast to within about 70 metres of their goal. Longmire, handball back to Anderson. Anderson across his left shoulder. Brilliant gather by Archer. Crunch to the ground, and he goes at it again. Well done there by Morrison.
Very good from both players, wasn't it? Archer was always going to chase that footy wherever it went. And then Chad Morrison asked to stand and take him front on. Equally as courageous. Well done, both boys.
So he's played a lot of games quickly, Glenn Archer, 235. I don't think that statistic is quite accurate. It's about 105 that he's played AFL games. Now, Blakey overrunning it. In there was Schofield and Robert Scott for North Melbourne. A real scramble of arms and legs, and the umpire will come in and bounce. Brilliant sunshine here now over Optus Oval. It's been a very cloudy morning, but we've got some lovely sunshine for a reasonable crowd gathered to watch this match between, well, two what we would consider to be contenders for the 97 flag. Kick forward by Bell, and a good mark, a terrific mark by Archer. He is just a fantastic player, Glenn Archer.
I thought he was well held in the first quarter by Ashley McIntosh, but Mick Malthouse has made the move. Morrison has Archer, and McIntosh has gone to centre half forward for the West Coast Eagles.
Certainly looked as though he was just misjudging that slightly, but able to drag it in, and he'll have a shot from about 30 metres out, about a 45-degree angle. Going for his first and North Melbourne's 5th goal. Good kick too by Archer. He's got it. So just what North would like. They open the second term with the first goal. They lead 5-5 to West Coast, 2 goals.
Well, undoubtedly Dennis Pagan to be happy with that. The last 2 involvements in the play from Glenn Archer have been very aggressive. He's charging the ball in the centre of the ground, then this mark. Mick Malthouse now has that dilemma, I guess, of the move that he made of McIntosh into his centre half forward position to get something through there, weighed up against releasing Archer.
Margin 23 points then. Alarm bells ringing for the West Coast Eagles. McKernan won it down. Wooden's in there. Harvey hasn't got it. He's going to get the free kick. Underwood centre half forward. Harvey, very close to the man on the mark, was touched on the mark by Kemp. Problems for Bell as a result. Couldn't control it. Hart went in. Archer knocks it out. Allison released on his left side initially, but stumbled. This is Anderson right on the 50. Back towards the middle. Bell almost. Wooden did well. Bell falling to the ground. Hand passes back towards midfield. King's got it now. Comes away. Short. Showed too much of it to Matera. He couldn't control it. Spilt down there by Scott. Back comes Hetty. Got it to Kemp. Kemp's hand pass was very good. McKenna, left half back. A looper. Matera, shepherded by Hetty. Matera into Mines. A chip through the wing. Down towards half forward. McIntosh moved up the ground. Ashley McIntosh.
The embarrassing statistic for the Eagles at this stage is inside 50. North Melbourne 25. The Eagles just 4.
That kick doesn't go in either. Across the boundary line, or is it a push in the back? It's a push in the back. I think Pike will take it. Best and fairest for Fitzroy in their last season. One of 8 South Australians on North's list. Having a very good year. Martin Pike around the outer side. McKenna, Scholl almost eventually. Stevens. The ball is his dog this afternoon. It's following him everywhere as it comes down towards half forward. Opportunity down there for Anderson. Kept his balance well. 3 Eagles around him. Still Anderson. Knocks it out to Roberts. Terrific work. Roberts needs to finish now. That's a marvellous goal.
Well, for mine, Stuart Anderson just kicked his 2nd goal. He didn't do it technically, but he did all the work. This is a great piece of work here in this contest. Just stays in it all the time, and eventually is smart enough to flick it out the back. Roberts was there, I would assume, and rightfully so. I suggested a lot of voice involved in that from Roberts to get the ball back to him, but then from 45, a great finish.
Well, playing a game as Mark Roberts, 11 possessions, 4 marks. He's kicked a goal. But as Terry Wheeler's just mentioned, some good work provided by Anderson. He's in the play again. Simmons tackled by Anderson. Ball spills now for Schofield. Schofield's kick to right half forward. Donnelly gets rid of his opponent, which was Pike. He's kicked towards half forward. Comes back nearly to Donnelly. Longmire, well done, to Pike. Pike with the left foot, good kick too. Finds Anderson. He's a beautiful kick of the football. He can't quite get past. Now he can. Short. It's all right too. Rocks on the end of it. Bounces once. Straightens up onto his right foot. Kicks towards full forward. Out in front there was Archer. Little hand pass provided by Scott. It's been deemed as a holding incident. And it's a free kick to North Melbourne to be taken by Allison.
So it was a sudden death one because Allison had it and it was gone. Just that split second there between the ball being disposed of and Banfield laying it the tackle. The umpire right on the spot and called it as such.
So Brett Allison for North Melbourne from just inside 50. So need a pretty good kick for distance, plus keep the accuracy, gets the distance. Offline. Not much of a kick off the boot, but certainly got the distance. And North Melbourne, 6-6 lead, West Coast 2 goals. And West Coast did have those first 2 goals on the scoreboard in the first 10 minutes of the game. So a dry run for the Eagles in this match. Gehrig to himself, runs away from fullback and then goes short and finds Matera.
Matera up from the back pocket then. Hugs the boundary line. Andy Lovell. Chip pass. Shows a lot of the ball to King, but Jakovic, strong hands in that situation. Back to Lovell. He run on. Kicks down towards the wing. Off hands, Banfield. Trying to soccer away was Bell. Waiting in front, McIntosh did nicely. Threaded the ball across to Donnelly. Donnelly pulls it back inside the 50. Grigic stands tall. Man on is Simmons. He comes across to Simmons and he's marked only about 20 metres out. Virtually directly in front.
Gee, I was calling for him to tuck it on the arm and go there because he would have bought himself another 10 metres, and you don't miss from 10 metres out running hard.
Brett Ellison did.
Well, yeah. See, he has enough scope there to go, but now he's going to come back and he's going to kick from some 30 metres out. A little bit extra pressure now on young Paul.
Spinks off, Turnbull back on. Meantime, this for Simmons, and he kicks truly. Eagles get their 3rd goal.
Well, that was a very good kick there. Just the 3rd goal after, as we are aware, the Eagles kicked the first 2 and a long time between drinks. The system into this, McKernan just lost Grigic altogether here. Grigic was able to float away and get some 60 metres away. And from their 2nd goal at the 10-minute mark, their 3rd a long way into this 2nd quarter.
Still a good lead for the Kangaroos. 24 points, 42 plays 18. But importantly for the West Coast, they've got their 3rd goal on the scoreboard. Bell, a little toe poke. In there for the Eagles was Wooden, but it spills now for David King. King across the half-forward line. Scholl got his hands onto it, and he's able to get round onto his right foot and have a clean shot at goal. It may even float right to the line. It does, but Matera, quick recovery, cat-like stuff. Peter Matera, short pass is all right. And he finds Simmons still inside his defensive 50. Kicks it forward for Gehrig. Made it look fairly simple at the finish, did Fraser Gehrig. And he's got the football right half back for the West Coast. Gets past his opponent, then slips the little hand pass to Simmons, close to the boundary line. Simmons kicks, but gives it up. McKernan, look, big hands, wraps it right around the footy. Corey McKernan, big man, big presence on centre wing. Lovely long kick too. will land close to the 50-metre line. Gehrig gets back, and Craig Scholl disappointed with his effort there, I would have thought. Matera takes the hand pass and then kicks across the full back line, out in front of Morrison. Morrison slipped a couple of times in the first turn. He's able to keep his footing and then kick with his left in the direction of McIntosh. A little tap on, not too bad. Philip Matera's high left foot kick to the full forward line, punched away by the North Melbourne defender in Pike, and it will be thrown in about 65 to 70 metres from the West Coast goal.
Great technique there from Martin Pike. Ensured that he didn't interfere with the player in front, and a strong, solid spoil.
Ball bouncing down towards the wing. Scott's in front. Still he goes, Robert Scott. Kemp's got him, and from front on, Lovell. All locked in there. We'll have a ball up. Just over 12 minutes to half time. 42 plays 18.
Dennis, the Eagles have Grgic now right in the goal square in the forward pocket. John Longmire standing him.
As a result of that, Turnbull is doing the ruck work, beaten by McKernan. Wooden overran it. Sliding in down there was Scott, claimed by Wooden. And another bounce. Plenty of dark cloud around. There's Grgic and Longmire up the ground. The sun is shining, and that's good news. McKernan, watchful. Turnbull looking to take a run. McKernan blocks his path, knocks it down. Kemp, the quick kick around the corner. King trying to juggle it. Heady gets it across towards Banfield. Goes towards the 50-metre line. In front, Donnelly from behind Pike. Between the pair of them, it goes across the line. Martin Pike, remember, a pretty tough, uncompromising defence. Kersner takes a seat.
He just came off Dennis, and Allison back on, and the Eagles defence now just rearranging themselves. Hart picks up Allison as soon as he comes on. McKenna comes across to Chandler, and Gehrig goes over onto Scholl.
Don't forget Monday nights talking footy right here on 7. Wayne Carey, our special guest. Brett Heady hooks it very high. It came from all directions. McIntosh, who's been lively on the forward line, got it to Philip Matera, who did well to get a second hand on that one. Kemp trying to go across to Donnelly. Rock slides in, picked up there by Stevens, and Stevens heads for the boundary line. Will it go out? Bad luck for North. Lovell has it. He's about 55 metres out. Puts it back towards full forward. Uncontested, Longmire.
Yes, good play by Johnny Longmire. Taking a little bit of a punt there on the full back line. Gets it to Blakey. Blakey goes close to the line. Roberts and Jakovic. That beats both of those players over for a boundary throw-in. Mark Roberts, 11 possessions. Kicked an inspirational goal earlier in this quarter. North Melbourne leading by 24 points. They've had 12 scoring shots to 3, and they really have dominated. Perhaps just two particular passages of play. Early in the first quarter, they took it into their full forward area about 15 times to 2. Didn't quite get value for money. West Coast kicked the first 2 goals of the game. And about the first 10 minutes of this quarter, it's been North Melbourne. Lovell back onto his right foot, kicks in towards full forward. No mark. Good contest provided by Longmire. Just threaded the hand pass out. Banfield's kick into the pocket will be marked by Heady for the Eagles. Now what does he do here, Dennis? You know Brett Heady's play pretty well. Does he go for a screw punt kick or...
Short pass.
Short pass. Well, there we are. And McIntosh has taken the chest mark. Well, Brett Heady was just about in an impossible situation. What's Mickey Martin going berserk about?
Yeah, there was something going on off the ball at centre half back, and Mick Valley was being held out of the play in order to go and man up onto McIntosh.
No problems with his blood pressure there, Terry, do you think?
Oh, no.
Gets a bit red in the face when he goes angry, doesn't he? This is McIntosh for the Eagles. Chance to get their 4th goal and bring the game back to an 18-point margin. Goes for it and gets it. Well done, McIntosh. So in a game that you would have, just watching it, you would have thought has been all North Melbourne, it is just 3 goals the margin in favour of the Kangaroos.
There it is there. Did you see that? The screen there that was created by Ilya Grgic, and it was a great piece of work. to allow McIntosh just to be able to step away there from Martin. Martin's argument is that he shouldn't be allowed to do that from that distance from the ball.
So what it was a screen in basketball, if you like. The grey area. 6-6 to 4 goals. The Eagles happy with the result of all of that. In goes Roberts. Claimed from behind by Jakovic. Roberts works on. Dragged off the kick. Lovell. So the Eagles looking better now. Lovell down towards half forward. It floats inside the 50. Pike hit the ball hard. Good shepherd too from Bell. Pike runs up towards the wing. Spears the pass into Scholl. Surely it was a mark. Not paid. Gehrig's got him, and holding the ball's the call. Well, Greg Scholl not happy. Gehrig.
This bloke's been a key in their resurgence in this last 5 minutes. Lovell.
Yep.
He's had 12 possessions, Dennis, so far.
Kemp's got the ball inside the centre square. Play on's the call. Goes with the left foot down towards half forward. Donnelly out of position, had to get it on the ground. Blakey stood his ground, took the defensive mark off to Pike. Pike through the centre. Scholl. That's a mark. Will he show the umpire? No. 65 out for space. Archer slips by Gehrig and takes the mark. Oh, that was very clever. Great understanding between Scholl and Archer. No histrionics from Scholl. I thought there may have been, but he wanted to move the ball quickly. And Archer initially was on the left-hand side of Gehrig and slipped around behind him, and Scholl always had the ball headed in that direction.
The critical turning point is just at that moment where the forward's moving away from the ball, props and comes back, and the kicker has to be very alert to that. In that occasion, Scholl did it perfectly to Archer.
Archer going at his second. Get the lead back to 24 points. 12 scoring shots to 4. He's got it.
Yes, just when the Eagles looked as though they might have been getting back into it. I know 4 goals is not much in football today, but I don't think they needed this.
No, they didn't. And Archer's the man that they've got to be able to stop down there. Chad Morrison, Archer's got away from Morrison too quickly on too many occasions. Gehrig isn't Archer's direct opponent. He was just in that particular piece of play. But Morrison's the one that has to shut Archer down.
It's a big plus if you move the ball quickly to get a one-on-one, isn't it, for the forward? Doesn't matter what area you're playing football in. McKernan gets it down. Rock, Blakey, Lovell for the Eagles, and the umpire will bounce it once again. 4 goals, West Coast. And from 13 scoring shots, North Melbourne have kicked 7 goals, 6. 24 points is the advantage for the Kangaroos. McKernan from behind. Turnbull, Roberts. He's got the football. Banfield, Simmons, Wooden. Real struggle, and eventually bounces for Wooden. Little kick, pretty good too. McIntosh marks well. Back to Wooden. Wooden, 50 metres from goal, takes a good long run at it, kicks it to the goal front, and Grigic is marked from behind Longmire.
Great
work. This will be interesting because the angle's going to be difficult here, Terry.
And the umpires pulled it back here. Sometimes the umpires perhaps can be a little bit too quick to blow time on in this situation, and umpire Chris Mitchell did blow time on, so wasn't allowing Grigic to be able to pass the ball on legally over towards Brett Heady.
Pretty good goal kicker though, Ilya, isn't he? He's a handy man around the goal square. He kicks from only 2 or 3 metres out and puts it through for an Eagles goal. So the Eagles keep in touch. Back to 18 points in favour of North Melbourne. The Kangaroos 7-6. The Eagles are 5 straight.
And this is the system the Eagles are going to need in order to score well. That is using their taller players. They've got quite a tall line up here. The kick on to McIntosh, good hands, continued on by Wadden. Very, very good work from him. But then at the full forward line, Grigic.
Well, Big Illy has been a marvellous acquisition. This Big Corey. Ryan Turnbull going at him. McKernan knocks it down. Knocked on by Bell. Simmons had it momentarily. McKernan forcing a passage through there. Harvey throws it on the boot. It wanders down towards the half-forward line. Stevens, brilliantly played by young Wooden. shows the ball to an opponent. Simpson then gets it across to Banfield. Banfield towards half forward. Eddie gave a contest. That was required. Anderson bumped off the ball. Wooden coming through again. Blakey tries to soccer it. Rock gets it across to Pike. Pike breaks away. Kicks inside the 50. Scholes in front. Gehrig punches away. Hitting the loose ball is Scott Matera. Brilliantly done. Superb stuff, Peter Matera, and he'll win a free kick. Well, Scott was gone.
It was a lay down. Scott was home. He kicked the goal, but chance he's done with an extra bounce, and the magician at halfback swooped.
Matera having a good game. Now Hart goes out wide. Lovell, as Robbo mentioned, the catalyst in this fight back. Now Morrison running away from half-back, kicking down towards half-forward. In from the side, McKernan almost. King slips away across half-back. Chased by two Eagles, slipped over. Going into that pack, Punda. Brilliant pick up by Philip Matera. So Matera magic at both ends of the ground. Matera the elder made a goal at the other end for Matera the younger.
And in between this class as well, it's starting to ooze through here from the Eagles, but Peter Matera, tremendous piece of work up there. Here the pressure is just the surface here, it's moving just ever so slightly, the top 3 or 4 inches. King was the one who came to grief on that occasion. Punda, good involvement there to Matera.
Yes, well done by the youngster. Hasn't been on the ground all that long, and certainly in the play. Turnbull tries to take it away from the ruck contest. Lovell struggling at close quarters there with Anthony Rock and Anthony Stevens. The umpire will bounce. McKernan, number 31. And a little bit of a change by putting Turnbull into the ruck and giving Grigic a chance to just be a bit of a threat up on the full forward line. Still a struggle to clear the congestion. Simmons left it behind. They were nearly away, the Eagles. Kemp and Anderson. Harvey overruns it, and the umpire will bounce once again.
Well, that's the thing, Robbo. I mean, at 202 centimetres, Grigic is a fair threat, without any doubt. I mean, they've got 5 players over 192 centimetres in the Eagles lineup here today, so their marking has to be to the fore. Compared to North Melbourne, just the 2, McKernan and Longmire.
The bounce, big McKernan gets a thumping right fist to it. Peter Matera back onto his right, gives it to Hart, who was running in support beautifully. Hart lines it up and then kicks towards full forward. Marking contest, it nearly spilt to Philip Matera again. In trouble, Freeborn. Roberts gets the crumb and kicks back to the centre. Lovell tries to tap it to his own advantage. It'll rebound for North Melbourne. Harvey to Scott. Scott down the ground. Is that a down the field free kick? No. McKenna comes clear for the West Coast. He's running through centre half back. Gee, ran a long way. Then kicks it in the direction of Jakovic. It clears that player. Advantages Simmons with the bounce. Could have nearly gone for Wirapunda. Back to Wooden. Wooden has been good in the last few minutes as well, but that kick lets himself down a little because he put it straight to McKernan. McKernan took a risk, or you're in trouble, Johnny Longmire. McIntosh has got him. Get on it, Philip Matera. And it's rushed through by the North Melbourne defender in Freeborn for a behind. So the first blemish on the scoreboard for West Coast, a rush behind. They are 6 goals won. North Melbourne 7-6, the margin 11 points in favour of the Kangaroos.
Robbo, it's worth mentioning Josh Wooden just at the moment. His last 5 or 6 minutes have been very good. A young boy taken out of the Canberra ACT Rams under-18 side last year. He's really stepped up extremely well.
Changing scene, this one, as the Eagles work their way back into it. Full credit to them. Turnbull knocks it down. Kemp helping the ball on its way. Schofield just outside the 50. Beat a couple. Brilliantly done to McIntosh. McIntosh, his centering kick. Wirapunda backed off it. King didn't. Won it down in front. Lovell again. Over the ball. Tries to hand pass it out. Picked up there by Harvey. Harvey bounces the ball towards midfield. Missed by Hart. Not so there. Assistance coming from Wooden. Wooden gets the hand pass away, sending Jakovic into space. Jakovic lobs it down towards half forward. Wirapunda, he was off. No, not according to the umpire.
I agree with you, Dennis.
No doubt. The umpire may have been obscured by King. It's the best I can do. Watch it in. There's no doubting. There's a little surge of acceleration then. Oops-a-daisy. Wirapunda then. He's about 55 metres out, but we're not sure this is a true 50 at Optus Oval. Wirapunda Miscues slightly, in short. Longmire wraps it up. Holds the North Melbourne record for goals against the Eagles with 8 at the MCG back in 1990. This will need to be a good kick. He's in the back pocket, Johnny Longmire. Up towards the wing, and Archer slipping away. Glenn Archer. Rock wants it out ahead. Archer decides to run. It goes in the Rock direction. In fact, it carries him. Scholl and McKenna. Still an opportunity. Scott the hand pass, gets it across. Chandler inside the 50. Gehrig in front, loose ball behind. Kersner and Gehrig off the ground by the defender, and that will do.
What a player Fraser Gehrig's been for the Eagles. Clocking up his 70-odd games now. He's held Dunstall goalless earlier this season. Then Bob with a 5-goal haul against Brisbane in the forward line. I would have thought 52, Robbo. But well, the 72 came up on the screen there and threw me.
I think someone's going to get a little rap over the knuckles for a few of these games played. There's a guy who played earlier. I forget who it was. About 235 was Archer, wasn't it?
Yeah. So can we accredit Fraser Gehrig with his 50th game today?
I've got him confused with Starts. I think it's Archer the racehorse.
Yes. Anyway, back to the footy. Chandler for the Kangaroos gets the hand pass back to Stevens. Stevens close to the boundary line in the pocket and judged pretty nicely by both players there, Robert Scott and Peter Matera. It bounces over for a throw-in. Well within scoring distance for the Kangaroos. They're 7 goals, 6. And the West Coast Eagles, David Hart trying to break away, gets it to Kemp. The Eagles 6 goals, 1. The difference 11 points. Contest provided by Anderson. Chandler is there, but he's just locked up there by Banfield and Simmons, and the umpire will bounce.
I think Robert Scott's playing Peter Matera as well as anybody can. Other sides have tried to take Matera back to the last line of defence to get him out of the play. From that position, he's a more potent running player going forward, whereas Scott's tending to bring him up to the midfield, mixing him in.
Well, he's in the play, getting the hand pass to David Hart. He'll get it back again here, Peter Matera. He's close to the line. He kicks in the direction of McIntosh, and McIntosh certainly, he's added a little bit of flavour too. He started in defence, and he looks as though he might be playing across the half-forward line with Grigic back on the full-forward line. And presently the play is at right half-forward for the Eagles. Boundary throw-in, and well, that siren will cease play. Pretty ordinary sound too. The siren sounds a bit sick, doesn't it? But at half-time, North Melbourne have an 11-point advantage. They're 7-6-48. West Coast are 6-1-37. And only...
High place up here too. You agreed with him, Dipper. That's the last straw. Start of the second half then. Andy Lovell, good second term. Seven, 6-6-1. McKernan and Turnbull. So Grigic still up forward. Turnbull this time wins it down. Rock virtually straight up in the air. It drifts out towards the wing. Grabbing it and being paid the mark is Blakey. John Blakey in the centre square, booting it up towards half forward. Hangs in the air a long time. Scholl is there. McKenna's fist knocked it away. Awkward on the centre wicket area. Well played by Jakovic. Got it down to the advantage of Banfield. To McKenna. To Gehrig. Gehrig swings it out wide. Chance for Heady. Fumble. Sockers off the ground. Rocks in the road.
Dennis, both coaches have really sent the sides out pretty much as they were. The only real change, Laidley now has the job on Philip Matera in the pocket.
Well, a bit lucky there. They had Philip Matera up against Longmire. Longmire with the height advantage and reach. Kicked the ball towards half forward. Lovell getting plenty of the football. Turnbull kicks across his left shoulder to Banfield and made a rare precision error just a moment ago when Heady was dispossessed. And again, when they clear the half-back line, they give the ball up, and it's Rock that puts them back under pressure. McKernan and Stevens. Stevens for North Melbourne across the half-forward line, really to the advantage there of David Hart. Not so much to Archer's advantage, and the ball forced over for a throw-in.
Yeah, Allison being Stevens, being the left footer. He was just squeezed a little bit on that side, and so couldn't get the ball back where he wanted it to. Perhaps the right footer option should have been taken.
Boundary throw in about 60 metres around, and the knockdown went straight to Harvey. Harvey towards full forward, gathered by Robert Scott. Left foot snap by that player will go close to the behind post. Simmons just seeing it over. Robert Scott, 198 career goals against his name. 48 plays 37. North Melbourne at the start of the second half lead by 11 points. McKenna trying to break clear, unsuccessful. Umpire will bounce about 25 to 30 metres out from the North Melbourne goal, pretty well straight in front. Michael Malthouse looks on. Umpires on the screen there. Turnbull. Ball comes to Lovell, tackled by Archer, rush behind to North Melbourne, forced by McKenna.
In the first half of the game, it just seemed to be that the side that was on top took control, and immediately the other side really dropped down and fell away. There were stages where the Eagles were in total control, North Melbourne unable to do anything, and likewise. This third quarter, I expect the game really to tighten up. There'll be a lot of one-on-one contests, hard balls having to be won.
Gets into Banfield. Now the West Coast Eagles haven't come from behind to win a game this season. They're 0-2 as the ball comes up towards the wing. Weapunda fumbles. Matera, Weapunda a second chance. Well played. Pulls it back towards the middle. Lovell waited. That was a mistake. Knocked away by Simpson, falling to the ground. He got it to Laidley. Laidley the hand pass to Roberts. Roberts the look away handball. Missed everybody. Stevens had to go back and find it. His hand pass was ineffective. Turnbull had the run of it. Opportunity here for Anderson, but a throw is played against Harvey. So Turnbull wasting no time, gets it to Wooden. Lovell, who's been inspired, kicks inside the 50. Chance for Grigic, awkward one, came to him very low. It bounces to Longmire, who chips to half-back, and Stevens with the right foot pulls it back to Rock. Rock, the defensive side of the wing, goes to half-forward and Scholl. Waiting behind McKernan, off the ground, socket out wide by the big man Turnbull, and it goes across the line.
Ryan Turnbull in picture with Corey McKernan will go against each other for this boundary throw-in. Lovell, 16 possessions to Andy Lovell. Turnbull from behind, McKernan in front. Rock, now Lovell again, 17th possession. He'll get another one, getting it back from Matera. Lovell's kick towards centre half forward. In front is Pike. Pretty well unopposed. Martin Pike from centre half back, kicks it out wide. Taken out here by Harvey for the Kangaroos. He finds Rock. Rock is between wing and right half forward. Still probably 2 kicks from goal. Kicks it into the danger area as far as the Eagles are concerned, but away goes Lovell. He's just knocked up getting possessions. Finds McIntosh. McIntosh to move it, well, fairly quickly and effectively. Weapunda has the football. He's on centre wing. He can go into the pocket. Kemp. Oh, great effort. That is a sensational effort by Anthony Stevens, not giving away the free kick and eventually taking the mark. Short pass finds Roberts, gets it back to Stevens. He's going to get caught, certainly get caught, and he'll be forced to kick it close to the line. Gathered by Peter Matera, brilliant ball handling. Shaw, as is McKenna, back to Banfield. They're still in their defensive half. Now his kick will land near half forward, comes to the front of the pack. Lovell missed his target, which was perhaps intended for Schofield, and away goes King for the Kangaroos.
Towards half forward, Morrison, great mark.
Very good mark. You can see Morrison there has the drop on Scholl, and Fraser Gehrig has Archer, but Morrison had to stand his ground with Archer bearing down upon him.
Gehrig, some indecision in the grasp, comes up looking for Jakovic. It favoured him off the fingertips of Roberts. Jakovic then wins it on the ground. Banfield sliding, has a problem. Scholl pushes him off the ball. Hand passes straight up in the air. Banfield came again, well done, and thumps it across the boundary line. Andy Lovell, 20 possessions now. If you think back, he had perhaps his best game as an Eagle against North Melbourne last season, 31 possessions. He's on pace to beat that this afternoon. Sliding in Simpson, holding onto McKenna's arm. I suppose technically McKenna was holding the ball. Kemp goes in after it, so does Simpson. Matera on the top of him. You get the feeling the stakes have been realised now by players of both teams. Both had their patches in the first half, but now there seems to be more commitment to start this second half.
Bounce, McKernan and Turnbull. They've been the combatants for the last quarter and a bit. The Eagles with Grigic up at full forward. Mickey Martin attacks the footy with determination. We've become used to that. His kick will land close to half forward. Free kick, and being held onto across that half back line for the West Coast was Lovell. Andy Lovell, geez.
Yeah,
got plenty of it.
Harvey's really having trouble keeping up with him.
He's getting plenty of it. A lot of it is across the half back line. His kick finished with McIntosh. In turn, Gehrig. Gehrig's little kick is, well, about 3 out of 10, Fraser, for that one. Off the right foot. Just trundles over for a boundary throw-in. I'd like to be on the end of that phone on a few occasions during a football match just to hear what the coach's instructions are down at the bench. Anderson, Simmons, Lovell again. Dragged off the footy. Didn't really have it. Advantages with the West Coast. Simmons to David Hart. David Hart, good kick of the football. Lands it in the area of Brett Heady. Wirapunda overruns it. And David King there for North Melbourne. Kangaroos by 12 points. Wirapunda coming off the bench in the second term. Yet to trouble the scorers. Dennis Pagan and his band of able assistants. Ball back towards centre wing. Punch to the front there, Anderson. Good crumbing. Kicks it quickly though. No one home for North Melbourne. Back goes McKenna. Can he get past Simpson? He does. Simmons runs away also from Simpson and then kicks towards half forward. At the back, David Hart grabbed hold of his jumper, but backing up Longmire. Longmire out wide. Robert Scott. Scott's short kick finds Anderson.
Anderson back inside. This is Harvey. Gets it away to Stevens. Pushed off it by McKenna. McKenna drags him down. Meantime, it spills back to Anderson. Hurriedly down towards the pocket. It bounds on the full. Eagles ball. Great stuff by Guy McKenna just moments ago. He's been very resolute in defence. Now Fraser Gehrig with the ball. 7-7-6-1. Game in the balance. Approaching midway in this third term. Gehrig likes a run across the goal face. Still he goes. Gehrig. It's a player down Matera. I think it was an act. He hit the ground very hard. Ball out of bounds on the wing. And now Matera is getting a free, is he? The umpire indicating something as he runs past Matera with the arm extended. Archer and Matera. Well, I don't know what that was all about. The umpire sort of, for a moment, I thought was going to pay something back there. We've had the boundary throw in. Martin. Only as far as McIntosh. Brilliantly done. Matera pokes it inside the 50. Great gather by Pike. Gets the hand pass back towards Martin and or Bell. They confuse each other. Bell to Martin. Martin up towards the wing. Banfield in front. Was he carried forward? Not according to the umpire. So boundary throw in. Let's go back to Glenn Archer and Peter Matera. Well, way too high. Not a lot of venom in it. Matera going down as if shot. The umpire taking no action. May have had a word to Archer. But the ball was out of bounds, so I suppose it would have been better for the West Coast Eagles to get a free right there.
Yeah, and I just question the distance though that shepherding was occurring from. She was a fair distance off the ball. And maybe Peter Matera may have been lucky to get away with it.
Gee, we're good. We see all sides of the argument, though. There's Kemp, grabs the ball, floats it down inside the 50. McIntosh came out through his legs. Wirapunda and McIntosh approached the ball. King in the opposite direction. Had it a while, falling to the ground to Blakey. Blakey boots it out towards the wing. McKenna playing very well. Throws it on the boot. It wanders down towards the pocket. Longmire's in the row.
You know, it's amazing how defenders always seem to read the play just a little bit better, isn't it? They sneak out in front of their opponent, the forward, mark on their chest unopposed, and Johnny Longmire's done that on about 6 occasions today. Contest at right half forward for the West Coast. Grigic not able to control the footy. Martin Pike will let him know all about it, I'm sure. And the boundary umpire will throw it in. And there goes Martin. Yep. Right half forward, boundary throw in. Ball nearly with Wirapunda. Simmons breaks the line. and has a bit of a look. Kicks towards full forward. Grigic, good mark. Good one-on-one contest, and he outpointed Johnny Longmire on that occasion.
I was just making a note here that Longmire's been very good in defence, but he's only been beaten by Grigic's height. That time he's just beaten by Grigic's reach. You see the way the man puts his arms out, meet the ball as early as you possibly can. There's no place in football for waiting for the ball to come on into your chest or into your hands. You run at it and you reach for it and meet it as early as you possibly can.
A good test here for Ilya Grigic. He's on the right-hand side of the ground kicking at goal, and he's a right foot kick, and it's a tight angle. But we've given him credit before this. I tell you what, it's a pretty good kick. I think it's a goal. So 2 goals now against Ilya Grigic for the Eagles. He joins Philip Matera as the multiple goal scorers for West Coast, and it is just 6 points in this match.
Grigic's proving to be a very good pickup for the West Coast Eagles. We're seeing here now the advantage that he does give into a forward line, and that is his exceptional height at 202 centimetres and his agility. But last week we saw his ruck work, and he did very, very well against Alessio Somerville and O'Connor from Essendon.
So the first goal of the third term, taking 10 minutes to come. 7-7, 7-1. Grigic, one of the recruits of the season without question. Chandler hurriedly onto the boot. It goes about 25 metres down towards half forward. Lovell appeared to be held. Well played by Archer, crashing through, and he was ably assisted by Harvey, but Jakovic gets the kick away. Jakovic is not happy with Archer. Meantime, Martin's got the ball. Martin, half back, short to Rock, the defensive side of centre wing. Anthony Rock. Kicks down towards half forward. McKernan's the target. Good discipline from Turnbull from behind. Just angles the punch out of bounds. Margin 6 points. North in front. At one stage early in the second term they led by 30. Turnbull and McKernan. Turnbull at the second attempt. All North Melbourne. Stevens left it behind. Quick thinking by Turnbull. Gains about 25 metres.
Yes, good play by the big fella.
He's done very well, hasn't he, in his role there, going back and negating McKernan. I mean, McKernan really is the real leading light for North Melbourne, and it's probably something that we could reaffirm next week on league teams, that Corey McKernan be there, and in a couple more weeks we may actually see Wayne Carey return to the side.
It's a pretty keen conversation between our members of that panel, league teams. Bob Davis, Sandy Robertson, Kevin Bartlett. On Thursday nights, of course, bring you up to date with the selections. McKernan and Turnbull. Turnbull, again, not all that effective. Kemp, the crummer, into the centre. Gathered by Simmons. He's been pretty good in the few minutes of this third term. Wooden, chopping it off as King. Just that little bit of, just real hard running by David King. Out to the advantage of McKernan. If that's not a mark, well, I think he had a good enough grip of it. Turnbull just a little late on the scene. McKernan quickly towards centre half forward. Marking contest. Simmons couldn't take it. Scott. Good smother provided by Gehrig. Knocked on by Archer. Players go bundling over each other. Pike and Matera. He won't fall over. Peter Matera, just a brilliant footballer. He kicks it out wide towards centre wing. Stevens and Wirapunda. And a football over for a throw-in, David Wirapunda. Not too bad there, providing a contest against his opponent, Anthony Stevens. And the boundary umpire will throw it in on centre wing. Anderson down. Simmons. Anderson still there for the Kangaroos. Roberts tries to get it out the back way, but only as far as Lovell. Kemp over the top, Banfield. Back to Matera. Matera down the line. Pretty good kick, and the mark has been taken by Donnelly, this time in front of Martin Pike. Possessions for Donnelly, a bit scarce during the afternoon, but his fourth kick will land the ball at half forward. Good gather by Kemp. Disciplined kick across his body. Grigic to the front. No one home. Blakey under pressure. McIntosh providing that pressure. Wirapunda tackled there by Longmire, and the umpire will bounce about 30 metres out from the Eagles' goal. They trail by just one straight kick. 7-7 North Melbourne, 7-1 the West Coast. It really has been a dour struggle. We saw some good open football early in this match. 2 passages, one by North and one by the Eagles in the first and second quarters, but now it really is tough to get possessions. Philip Matera was close to the boundary line, eventually stepping over, so the boundary umpire will throw it in. 25 to 30 metres around from the Eagles' goal. This ruck contest, well, Grigic, it was no contest, was it? Wooden on his left, back to Banfield, shot for goal by Banfield. No one home, except Johnny Longmire. North may go down the ground. Longmire's kick has opened it up for Anthony Stevens. On his left foot, Anthony Stevens goes in the direction of Scott, and Scott marks in front of Peter Matera.
Scott on the wing, plays on to Stevens, or is it Harvey? It's Harvey from the wing. He floats it down towards half-forward. Scholl, almost in the same spot he took that Specky in earlier. The guy McKenna spilt it that time. Wooden on top of the ball and a bounce, about 65 metres out from North's attacking goal. They lead by 6 points. Goals at a premium. Just the one kicked by Ilya Grigic. And now we've got a blood rule, have we? Turnbull will need to come off. A cut above that right eye, it seems.
It's going to be interesting, isn't it? I think we mentioned that he hasn't been too bad. It's just going to alter their structure a bit.
Absolutely. It's come at a very bad time.
It has Grigic's now running up to do the ruck work, and immediately Mark Roberts has taken off to the other side of the ground, just trying to stretch the Eagles' defence. It's Spinks now that's coming back on, will go to the forward pocket to take John Longmire on. Wouldn't want him sitting there for too long, though.
No, as they try and stop the bleeding. And Turnbull. Certainly the Eagles have done that after getting way out of their ground. They've done very well to work back into this situation. McKernan decisively down behind. Stevens has been very good. Kept the ball in front. Anderson against the flow. Look out here. He's normally a good finisher. Goes from 45 and kicks a great goal.
Well, it was a good kick in the finish, wasn't it, Stuart Anderson? Give him some space and he'll make you pay. North by 2 goals.
It was just a great burst of hope when the ball eventually gets with him. Just able to step through it there aggressively, and once he was out, did the right thing, was able to go a couple extra metres, so he was well balanced, head over the ball, straight through, great goal. That's a good half-forward work.
Well, just when it looked as though West Coast may draw level with the Kangaroos, Anderson kicks his second goal and takes it back out to 12 points. Knocked forward by Grigic, gathered by Simpson, kicks across his left shoulder, out wide in front of Bell. Awkward bouncing ball. Well done, McKenna. Tries to tap it to the advantage of Lovell, succeeds. Lovell just kicks it down towards the 50-metre line. Good gather there by Cummings. North Melbourne's defence under pressure. Johnny Longmire just backed himself, crashed his way through. Kemp, nearly took the mark of the day. Couldn't quite hook it in. Kicked off the ground there by David Hart. And the ball will be thrown in on centre wing. Now, North Melbourne swinging a change. Harvey is onto the bench and Freeborn onto the ground. Grigic tries to get the front posse, but McKernan does well, but only as far down as David Hart. He gets away from Allison and then kicks it into the danger zone, but a good mark taken by Laidley. Plays on quickly, gets it to King. Bit of running provided now by the Kangaroos. Out wide, Anderson and Simmons, both of them slip just slightly. Anderson has the footy in underneath, and Simmons looking for the free kick. Umpire will come in and bounce. Dipper.
Ryan Turnbull has got a small cut under his right eye. He's just gone into the rooms to change his jumper, but expect him to be back on the ground very shortly.
What about the balance there of Paul Simmons and Stuart Anderson? Like a pair of corks in the ocean. Slipping over, quickly up, tying it up. Grigic, clean possession, well played by the big man, throws it on the boot. It goes down towards right half forward. Weapunda in front of King. Brilliantly played, Weapunda. Hard against the line. Pulls it back. Speaks.
Out of bounds, I think, where Weapunda kicked it from, Dennis.
You're right. Boundary umpire chasing. And we'll take it all the way back. So bad luck for the Eagles there. Spinks and Martin like myself, oblivious to the fact that it had gone out. They fought that on its merits. McKernan could have almost got a free. I think he'll get one. He was screening the ball, but he played it very shrewdly. So Corey McKernan, so far this afternoon, 7 marks. Only 3 players have taken more this season. The season's high was 12 in round 3 against the Bombers. Didn't play against the Eagles last year. Having an influence this afternoon from half back. Telling kick up towards half forward. Morris in the run. Misjudged it slightly. Freeborn. The hand pass behind Bell. Lovell crashes in. Over the top McKenna. And those two in rare form, Lovell and McKenna. So Bell, the meat and the sandwich there, also having a good day, but little chance of breaking clear.
Gee, you'd be crooked on this blood rule, wouldn't you, if you were the coach of the Eagles?
Yep.
Certainly upset them momentarily.
Real disadvantage, isn't it? The fact that it happened so close to the interchange gates, of course, the coach's box on the other side of the ground. Michael Malthouse, well, coach speak, I'm not sure what he was saying there. Maltese, I guess. There goes the kick, floating down towards the wing, going back terrifically well done by Anderson. Took the mark, hit the ground running, pulls it back towards the middle, bounces inside the 50 there, the centre square area. The hand pass came out from Archer to rock off a step, floats it inside the 50, in from the side, big attempt at the mark by Roberts, off the deck Matera. It wanders out towards the boundary. This is Phillip, the soccer came from Peter. Wooden now played it very well. He was in real trouble there, man sweating on him, and the youngster kept his head.
Peter Matera's kick off the ground would have to be classified as effective, wouldn't it?
No doubt whatsoever. The heat was on there, and just to be able to get it back on out. Fortunate enough that it went out into space where Phillip got onto it, but Wooden, very, very good play there. Really cool in the crisis he has been today. He's been a most impressive young player.
Yes, he's spent a lot of time on the bench early in the match, but since coming on, he's had 13 possessions and effected 5 tackles, Josh Wooden. Boundary throw in. Banfield, but taken away there by Anthony Rock, and kicks for the line. Anthony Rock, acting skipper for North Melbourne. Wayne Carey out injured, and Wayne Schwass playing in the reserves. Archer just crashes through. Allison's got a chance here. Short kick is all right too. Fine Scholl. Might just test Craig Scholl the distance here. Going to have a ping at them. A good straight kick, but it may not get the distance. It's touched right on the line by Ilya Grigic and Corey McKernan, and through for a behind to the Kangaroos.
It was a good piece of work there on the right on the line, because Grigic was always going to be troubled by McKernan's body position, and he didn't give a free kick away. And so a good piece of work from the West Coast big man.
Matera to Morrison, back to McKenna, back to Morrison. So good exchange there for the Eagles, and they'll get right down into their forward area. Morrison's kick is all right too. Lands on the chest of Speaks. If he kicks it quickly, they're all running back towards the goal. Now it's a vacant goal square. He'll go in the direction of Wirapunda. Jakovic from behind. Wirapunda off the ground. Can't quite control it. Back onto his left foot. Snapshot by Wirapunda is offline. So his first score for the game. Snapped behind. 8-8 plays 7-2. North by 12 points. And Darren Crocker, wouldn't he like to be out there in the North Melbourne Guernsey? He's just had a wretched run with injuries for his whole career. Darren Crocker, good player when he can get on the ground.
Lakey across to Stevens. Stevens towards the outer side wing. Martin simply too tall. Juggles it. Another weird bunda. Mickey Martin. Pretty gloomy now as he kicks down towards half forward. McKernan up in front. Lovell close to the boundary line. Content to knock it across. Andy Lovell, 23 possessions, 16 kicks and 7 hand passes. Sad week for him, but playing with great spirit and courage this afternoon. Scholl didn't have the ball, surely. Play goes on. Allison knocks it goalward. Simpson's over it. Banfield, who's lifted since the opening term, at close quarters. Simmons hurriedly up towards the wing. Martin, awkward half volley. Bell, 17th possession, not quite. It spills back to Martin. Martin off his step. goes down towards the boundary line at left half forward and bounces across the line. Craig Scholl there must be wondering what he's got to do to get a kick. Donalchenko looking on. Bit of tension in the crowd. Again, North can't afford to drop. Hart to Banfield. Banfield towards half forward. Martin ducked the head slightly, uncharacteristic. He's over the ball, he's on his knees, he digs it out wide. Dean Laidley, nicely done, back towards Blakey. Blakey on the burst down towards half forward. Great mark. Scholl. Morrison was intent on nudging him under the ball and was almost headed back towards the pocket to find the ball on the ground. He didn't bargain on this sort of reach.
He just made the extra grand, didn't he, vertically. It was a tremendous piece of work there. Real encouragement for being in the front position.
Well, Craig Scholl, a contender for mark of the day earlier in this match. Shoots for goal. The kick just floats away to the right. No score. So the siren to end the third term.
Corey McKernan. The margin 12 points as we start the last term.
Well, I'm sure it'll be an interesting 25 minutes or so, because both of these sides, it's a pretty even competition, and both of them will be striving for a victory. McKernan went through. Banfield not able to control the footy. Robert Scott, now it's forced up to the full forward line. Scholl gets rid of Morrison. Back onto it as Craig Scholl, slips over, gets the hand pass to Freeborn, tackled, dispossessed. McKenna under pressure on the full back line. Archer on Gehrig, and the umpire will bounce in the left forward pocket for the Kangaroos. You wouldn't think that the West Coast would like to see the first goal of this quarter going to North Melbourne.
No, a goal each in the third quarter and the game really tightens up. This is going to be one of those real midwinter games that have to be won through hard work.
Simpson forces a rush behind for the Kangaroos, so they now lead by 13 points. 8 goals 9 to 7 goals 2. 17 scoring shots to 9. It was pretty lopsided from that point of view early in the match. Gehrig goes short into the pocket. Matera
hugs the boundary. David Hart's got it now. Hart deep in his own defensive area, goes for distance, driving it around the outer side, dropping back Roberts, who started so well. In fact, he's been pretty good throughout. Little chip pass to outside the 50, and Bell liked his game. Peter Bell works hard. Honours the lead from Archer. Pushed into it at the second attempt there. Always his ball. Archer wants the man on the mark. Fraser Gehrig taken back. He's already booted 2. There's the pass again.
You just wonder about that changeover there. Now, whether it's just been in the play, but I thought Fraser Gehrig did a very good job on Archer. Morrison had Archer earlier and was beaten. Now it seemingly has gone back the other way, or perhaps they were just caught out in play that time.
So Archer. Kick from just inside the 50. Virtually right on it. Gives it a ride. They contest a couple of metres out. Behind. So it's out to 14 points now. 8-10, 7-2. Next goal very important. Not only in the context of this game, but you sense the season itself. North Melbourne off the boil in recent weeks. Gehrig to himself decides to run it out, then hand pass up towards half back. Schofield in trouble. Gehrig kept his head down to Morrison. Back it comes to Schofield, left half back. Pulls it around the boundary, all North Melbourne. Roberts will pump it in once more. Roberts is short, they're caught on the rebound. Allison couldn't hang on. Freeborn to Scott. Scott 45 metres out. That's a beautiful kick. Great finish.
That was a very, very good kick. And Scott has had the job on Peter Matera all day, and Matera really has had the better of the duel. But then on these opportunities, when the half-forward flanker gets the chance and makes the most of it, as Scott does here, this is what really hurts the defence. Being behind the ball, running onto it, so when you receive it, you're heading in the right direction. That is straight towards goal. Very good work.
Well, very important first goal of the last quarter to North Melbourne, kicked by Robert Scott, his 199th career goal. Go forward again to the Kangaroos, Freeborn in the direction of Scholl, over the top of Craig Scholl and Chad Morrison for a boundary throw-in. Left forward pocket for North Melbourne. Quickly, the Eagles back under pressure. Gehrig and Archer. Archer from behind. Scholl gets the knock to the goal front. Simpson misses. Adam Simpson has the distinction of having played in premiership teams in the last, I think it's 3 or 4 years, with North Melbourne reserves, North Melbourne seniors, and of course I think it was the Northern Knights that he represented.
That's right.
Yes. In a premiership. This is Allison for North Melbourne. That kick in went out of bounds with no one touching it. Got a great mark. That's the sort of power that we're used to seeing from Corey McKernan. And look at the look on his face. He really meant business when he went after that.
Well, I think if Dennis Pagan was to really look someone down the barrel, so to speak, at three-quarter time, it would be Corey McKernan and perhaps Glenn Archer, two very strong leading players who need to take control in this quarter.
And he does what the Kangaroo fans wanted. He kicked the goal. First goal to McKernan, but the 10th goal for North Melbourne. They lead 71-44.
North Melbourne are seemingly playing like they did early in the game when, in the first quarter, they got the ball inside 50 so many times but were unable to take advantage of that. Now they've got a little bit more going for them. They've got a lot more flow, a lot more run, and McKernan on the end of a very good contest.
So suddenly the margin is out to 27 points. Great start to the final term by the Kangaroos. Decisively down by McKernan to Stevens, who kicks towards half forward. Awkward bouncing ball. The strength of Jakovic worked Archer out of it. Morrison quickly away. This is Simmons running up towards the wing. Simmons down towards half forward then. In front is Philip Matera, knocked away by Laidley. And across the line it goes. Dean Laidley made his senior debut at West Perth in 1984. In the AFL under Ron Alexander in 1987. A war horse. Not much of him, but terrific fighter. More ways than one. Ball comes from behind the pack down towards half forward. Pike is there, hacks it out of midair, not his best effort, back towards Laidley. Made to earn that one, socket off the ground by Grigich. Standing in the road is King, throws it on the boot, back towards midfield. Awkward one for Allison, runs on to Simpson. Simpson across to Rock. Rock chips it inside the 50. North Melbourne have got it. Robert Scott, a chance to kick goal number 200 right here. Well played by his partner in crime, Anthony Rock.
And Peter Matera, his opponent, was caught between the two. Do you run down and charge the man with the ball, or do you go back with your own? Matera, rightfully so, chose to charge Rock down, but Rock very good at getting the kick. Little chip kick up over the air into Scott.
Going at his third right here. Good effort. A little milestone for Scott. Breathing space for North Melbourne.
And on a personal level, that is a great milestone. 200th goal in his league career, being in his 191st game. So a bit of a double, 200 and 200 is not a bad career effort.
He's been a good scrounger too. I'm sure he was under the hammer when Geelong got beaten in their first grand final by West Coast in '92.
Yes.
And Blighty was going to send him off, and he's got scrounged a few more games. So Robert Scott, 3 goals today, 200 career goals, and it looks all over now for the West Coast. They trail by 33 points. McKernan and Turnbull. It comes to Simmons. Simmons kicks it to within scoring distance. Donnelly, that was a good mark. Probably one of the rare occasions that one-on-one he has outpointed Martin Pike. Pike disappointed there, but he's been a disciplined player in defence for North Melbourne for most of the day. Andrew Donnelly has found it just a little difficult for this match anyway. Best first-year player for the West Coast in season 1996. Donnelly goes for goal. hooks the kick and scores just a behind.
There's no doubt that the spark's gone out of the Eagles just at the moment. Even in their coach's box there now, they're scratching their heads wondering what they can do to instigate a bit of a comeback here. Really, this one's just down to the group of boys they've got out on the track.
King kicks short, does it well too. Pike, Blakey, Simpson for the Kangaroos. Well, disappointing there. Good build-up. Simmons for the Eagles. Turns it over now. Heady has a look and kicks towards half forward. Donnelly punched away by Pike. The base of the Packers were a Punda. Did he have the football? Pike tackled him. Ball spilt free. Away goes King for North Melbourne across half back. Kicks towards half forward. Marking contest. Well done, Allison. Not often you see David Hart out-pointed like that. But Allison, little kick, pretty good too. In front is Freeborn and is marked within scoring distance. Nothing against his name as far as score is concerned so far. Allison, good vision here. Nice little, well, you'd call that just a held-up kick, I suppose, or a pulled kick.
Although we're told too there's nothing wrong with Andy Lovell. Just off the ground, 23 possessions to three-quarter time. There he is.
Strange one, but well, the coaches, I guess they know best from where they see this match. But this is Freeborn. Gee, good long kick. That is a magnificent long kick and accurate as well. The game broken right apart now. 8 goals, 8 in three-quarter time, North Melbourne. In the first few minutes of the last quarter, they've kicked 4 goals, 3. And they really will have a good victory in the finish by the look of this, the way it's going. 12-11, plays 7-3.
Well, it can't come a moment too soon for North Melbourne. They were looking incredibly shaky in 10th position on the ladder with just 4 wins, and over the next 3 weeks they have to travel interstate twice. So this is one they just so sorely needed.
Turnbull and McKernan brilliantly done down to Bell, but only as far as Morrison. And North have had trouble finishing off their games this season. Their best final term, 36 points against Essendon, round 3, is McKenna. And already they're challenging that, North Melbourne, with this spate of early goals. Here's Schofield up on the wing. Towards half forward, it hangs in the air a long time. As a result, the defender had a play on the ball. Martin down to Bell. This is King. Takes them on with dash. Interesting kick at the end of it. It's a scrubber down towards half forward. Scholl, favoured by the bounce of the scrubber kick, tries to get it back towards Allison. Close to the boundary line. The hand pass. Anderson, well, working in a phone box down there. Not much chance. Scholl eventually, though, onto the loose ball. Archer and Jakovic, a battle of wills and strength. Waiting in front, Scott for goal 201. 4 for Robert Scott.
Well, he's really capping it all off, hasn't he? I mean, the game has been a very tight game right throughout. I mentioned earlier that during the first quarter there, West Coast get away to the first 2 goals, then North Melbourne came back and West Coast really just faded away to absolutely nothing for a 6-goal burst. Then they've come back, but North had the final answer in the final quarter.
Well, good effort there by Scott. Kicked his 4th goal. 13-11 plays 7-3. Big margin now in favour of the Kangaroos. Heady belts it forward. Only as far as Blakey. Gets an effective hand pass. Good gather by Anderson. Gets the hand pass away to Bell. Bell with precision finds Roberts. Roberts to the goal front. Puts pressure on the Eagles' defence. And not quite see what happened there, but it's obviously a free kick to Gehrig. Well, obviously the umpire closer to the action. Kick out wide by Matera finds Heady. Heady now goes out towards the wing. McIntosh. Martin keeps his footing. Well done by Mick. Little kick. Looks for Stevens. Heady dispossesses. In goes Bell pretty hard. Stevens to Crum. He's dispossessed by Kemp. Comes back to Anthony Stevens. He turned to Roberts. Back onto his left. Slips over. Gets the hand pass away to Martin. Martin kicks down towards half forward. Punched away by Gehrig. gatherers by Schofield. Schofield through centre half back. May look to bounce once again. No, he goes across that line and finds Jakovic.
Jakovic chased by Archer, dragged down by Archer, turns it over. Taken by Anderson, back inside the 53 ball. Great chase by Glenn Archer.
Great qualities being on display here just at the moment there. Just that never say die attitude in a chase, and Archer stayed in it all the way and was eventually able to run down big Glenn Jakovic.
Had to avoid a Shepherder as well. Just terrific stuff. Now Freeborn in the side because Millington pulled out, has a chance to kick his second goal. A lot of speculation Wayne Schwass would be back, but they've gone for this man. Normally a pretty good kick at goal too, Glenn Freeborn. You better get him behind.
Dennis, I don't think the late withdrawal of Millington was ever going to allow Wayne Schwass in. I think Dennis Pagan, the match committee, having made that decision, needed to ride it right through to the end.
Gehrig for the Eagles. Out wide to Hart. Hand pass over the top, Morrison. Outside the defensive 50, Morrison. Kicks with the left foot in the direction of Turnbull and Roberts. Gathered by Scott. Well, he's making his game look just that little bit more polished. And finds Simpson. Close to the centre of the ground, Simpson kicks and finds Archer. Well, it's a bit of a practice drill now for North Melbourne. Pressure has gone right off by the Eagles. Big torpedo punt kick by Archer. Oh, it's a great mark taken by Bell. Oh. Gee, it hurts when the players come up with a smile on their face like that. Peter Bell, right at the end of the square, has taken a specky in the finish.
Well, when the littlest bloke on the field can feel the confidence to have a fly with Fraser Gehrig and outpoint him, things are going your side's way.
Not bad stats for Peter Bell either. And with his 11th kick, he gets the goal. He becomes North Melbourne's 9th individual goal kicker. Having another look at this, Terry.
Yeah, it was just a, well, here it is, let me have a go at it sort of mark, because, you know, given a tight circumstances, there's no way he would have gone for that, you'd think. It's really, the thing that's impressed me with Peter Bell is he's been his work in the midfield so far this year. He's been very, very hard at it. Great pickup from North.
Bell has been very good, and it's a rout now. 14-12 to 7-3, 26 scoring shots to 10. McKernan knocks it down. Stevens smothered off the boot well by Simmons. Stevens in again, picked up by Banfield. Kemp on his way, but the umpire wants it. It's happened so quickly. In the space of about 10 minutes, the game has just gone away from the West Coast Eagles. More particularly, it was grabbed away from them. Terrific showing by North. McKernan knocks it down. Simmons tackled by Anderson. Didn't know where the ball had gone. Stevens jumps in. And another bounce. Anderson has been good.
He's an accumulator, Anthony Stevens, too, isn't he? 17 and 5. Yeah. Kicked a goal. Effected 3 tackles. Just the engine room for North Melbourne.
A hard-working accumulator. The best kind. McKernan thumps it down. Hart in trouble. Anderson got him. It spills back towards Simpson. Throws it on the boot from 60. Down towards full forward. Reaching over the top. Gehrig fisting away. McKenna tried hard back there. Was taken high by Archer. Advantage is paid now. Morrison sprints away. That's ambitious. Has the poise. Kicks towards the outer side. McIntosh and Martin close to the line. Martin kept it in brilliantly. Stevens likewise. Oh, that's a party trick out there. Roberts back to Martin. How did they keep that in North Melbourne? Martin, a centering kick. Chance here for the man behind Jakovic. Big fist on it. Matera had to wait. Chance down in front for Rock. Gives it across to Anderson. Anderson off the step from 60. Back goes Simpson, and he's taken the mark about 5 metres out. Well, so often we see players content to take the ball out of bounds. North Melbourne's mindset at the moment, unlike that. They're enjoying this, they're keeping it in, and as a result they're kicking goals.
Well, this really is a rout now. I don't think Mick Malthouse will be happy with this. They've kicked now 7 goals, and we've still got, in this last term that is, and we've still got 7 minutes left. Isn't that throwing the ball, what Anthony Stevens did? Took possession of it and then threw it down the line? Questionable?
Yeah, but it's right there, yeah.
Anyway, they kept it in and got the goal.
Mick can't be happy.
Well, at scoreline, there was 12 points in it at three-quarter time, 8-8 to 7-2. Have a look now. West Coast have kicked a point. North have kicked 7 goals. Philip Matera off the left foot, only as far as Blakey. They've just been miserly, haven't they? The North Melbourne defence as well. They've got the score on the board through their forwards, particularly in this last quarter. Leaving it behind was David Hart. Coming through as Harvey. Harvey kicks it forward for the Kangaroos. It'll go straight past the players on the full forward line and bundle through for a behind kick by Brett Harvey.
This is a very good effort from the North Melbourne defence. The Eagles coming to this game, they're averaging over 100 points a game. And the North Melbourne defence with Longmire at fullback, Blakey, who's playing his 100th game for North Melbourne today, across there. Pike's found a real niche. They've been very good. The longer the game's got, the better that defence has become.
Well, the Eagles have got the ball nearly up as far as the wing. Cummings goes short to Peter Matera, gets another possession. His 24th, affected 6 tackles as well. Simmons tries to break the line and then kicks it towards half forward. Well done too in the finish. Brett Heady has marked on his chest about 50 metres from goal. Heady for the Eagles. Gurapunda provides the lead. Obviously Heady just a bit of a worry. Well, their last goal a long time ago, it was similar to the first term where they kicked the first 2 goals of the game and then took ages to kick their 3rd goal. And it's been a long time between their 7th goal and what just about looks as a forlorn task. Maybe their 8th goal. Heady kicks to the line and it's helped over by the defenders for North Melbourne for a rush behind to the West Coast. 15-13 to 7-4. So it's well, it's a big margin, isn't it? 57 points now in favour of the Kangaroos.
King towards the outer side. Turnbull in front. Donnelly off the hands to Kemp. He started so well. Pulls it inside the 50 with good control. Oh.
Ex-Fitzroy teammates, those two, wouldn't they? Cummings and Pike.
No, absolutely ridiculous. Umpire.
Cummings and Goings. They're going 50 metres.
And he gives it for around the neck, a 50-metre penalty. Missed your number, umpire. Wish I'd have seen it.
Oh, no, come on. Cummings directly in front, kicks the goal.
No, can't have that one, I'm afraid.
15-13 to 8-4.
Just a little bit of byplay that occurs in a game like this. Martin Pike wanting to contain his niche in the side. They're nothing really untowards at all. Just discussing their past events at Fitzroy, I'm sure. Nothing more than that.
Well, Cummings the goal kicker for the West Coast, and they do get their 8th goal, albeit with just 5 minutes remaining in the match. They've been well spaced, those 8 goals. McKernan gets rid of Turnbull, kicks out wide. The bounce probably favours Kemp there, able to get his left foot to it. Donnelly and Pike. Pike goes after it. Little hand pass back to Laidley. Laidley from right half back kicks the ball past the wing, but a good mark taken by Glenn Jakovic. Well, I thought it was okay, but the push out, according to the umpire, and the free kick will go to Archer for North Melbourne. Looks for Bell, but not quite able to find that player. And the boundary umpire will throw it in. Right half forward, there's Jakovic and Archer. Well, just a little push out, but gee, you've seen worse than that allowed to go on in footy. Roberts to Freeborn, brilliantly tackled by McKenna, and he's going to be penalised. So the free kick is with McKenna, back to Glenn Jakovic. In turn goes wide to David Hart. Hart for the Eagles. Kicks in the direction of Matera, punched away there by Laidley, and in doing so, Dean Laidley has infringed against Philip Matera, according to the umpire, and the Eagles player will take the free kick. He kicks in the direction of McIntosh, who was marked beside Martin with his right foot, goes for Cummings, gathered by Stevens, hand pass found Wirrapunda, and Wirrapunda kicks a goal for the Eagles. Good snapshot, actually, by David Wirrapunda. Kicks his first goal for the match. The Eagles get a couple of late ones.
Well, this young man has got a great degree of talent in the Football League. His appearances at league level, they're fairly well spread out. He made his debut early last year, but then groins and shin splints held him back, and now he's playing his 5th game this year. But just to be able to be in that position to receive the ball, then across the body, great shot.
McKernan. Cummings roving the pack. Still has it. He's slung now. Scott to Allison, jabs it forward, only about 10 metres. Heady off a step back towards the half-forward line for his side. Blakey, Archer. This is King, forward of half-back, up towards half-forward. Beautiful kick, very precise. Harvey has it, close to the boundary line, plays on, pulls it back towards the middle. Big leap down there, Kersner almost hung on. Scott somehow got it to Allison. Allison moved about 2 metres. Banfield to Matera. 25th possession coming up. Matera runs towards midfield. Spears it in short. Spinks has it. Goes back to Heady. Heady running towards centre half forward. Goes for distance now. McIntosh outnumbered. Found it on the ground. Snaps. Good looking effort from there by McIntosh. Well, it wanders towards the pocket, but Blakey's taken this mark. McIntosh under all sorts of pressure did very well.
Anderson for North Melbourne. Jakovic just looking a little concerned back there at fullback at the moment for the Eagles. That kick has been marked by Donnelly. Gives the hand pass away to Gehrig. Gehrig across the half-back line. One bounce. No one to kick to, so he just has to kick it really to the advantage of Morrison. Bounce was terrible, wasn't it? It is such a fickle thing, that oval ball. Roberts for North Melbourne finds Bell. Wooden number 13 for the Eagles, but Bell has the footy. 103 plays 58. 2 minutes left in the game. Bell's kick to the goal square. McKernan up high. He's got to be paid that mark. He's got to be paid that mark. Oh, you know, every reason to blue about that. He's the only bloke to touch it the first time, wasn't he?
I'm pretty sure he was.
Let's have another look.
Here. The right hand first. There it is. He flicks it out himself. Second, no doubt whatsoever. By Chris Mitchell really just thrown out by that first hit out.
Well, like the disciplined player he is, Corey McKernan just prepared to get on with the game and contest the ball up. Brett Heady throws it onto his left foot and kick forward in the finish for North Melbourne. Might have been Harvey, was it? And it's out of bounds on the full, and the free kick to be taken back there for the Eagles by Donnelly. Donnelly goes short and finds Banfield.
Just over a minute to go then. Banfield plays on, run down by Simpson, got it to Kemp. This is Heady. Archer closing, brilliantly done. Given the scoreboard, that's terrific.
Yep, that's the sort of leadership North Melbourne need to get themselves back up into the final eight, back going again, well and truly before Wayne Carey returns. This side can't wait and hang everything on Wayne Carey's return. They've got to have form up and going when he does join them.
Archer terrific there. Kemp's kick marked meantime by Blakey. He's on the wing, in short. Stevens, possibly best on ground, kicks towards centre half forward. Kersner. He's normally a thumping kick, Kersner.
And his Glenn Jakovic has just moved from full back all the way down to full forward, and he's limping. Left knee, the right knee's had the operation. The other one, a bit of a limp on the left, seemingly, just at the moment.
It's Kersner, just outside the 50. Tugs it well left. It's out of bounds, I think, on the full. It is.
Found a little bit tougher the last 2 weeks. Kersner kicked 4 goals in his debut on this game against Port Adelaide. Debut for North Melbourne, that is, 2 weeks ago. But just these last 2 games, a little bit tougher for him.
Donnelly at half back. 9 seconds now. Hetty up towards the wing. There's the siren. Spinks takes the mark. North Melbourne take the 4 points. They needed that one this afternoon.